Hi guys, and welcome back. Today I'm going to be speaking on a 28-year-old Santa Ana Police Department officer. He was allegedly uh, actually investigated for taking bribes, protecting uh, grow actual businesses along with the dispensing of the actual marijuana. He actually agreed to prevent or to stop law enforcement compliant checks at illegal operations. Met numerous times with the actual owner of this actual business. About three different times, I got him actually on video, in uniform, in his patrol car. And, you know, regardless if he was in uniform or not, when you're in law enforcement, you do get treated like an adult. But then again, you have to actually conduct yourself in a responsible manner. And they don't really trip on you actually veering off to go take care of some personal business as long as it's actually, within means. You're not going to go travel an hour out of your way to go take care of something personal. Of course not. But if you veer off for a few minutes, it's no big deal. But apparently he received almost 130,000 in bribes from this particular individual. And apparently, the actual community questioned it because this happened between April 2016 to November 2020, and he has not been sentenced. He has not been sentenced yet. He pled guilty, and he's still on administrative leave from the actual Santa Ana Police Department. I don't know if he still continued, but at some point he was receiving administrative leave actual pay from the union. And the city community actually were very upset that after he had pled guilty, he was still receiving some kind of allowance from the actual union. And I don't know if that actually was investigated and got removed, but he still um, has not been sentenced as of this past May. So he's still waiting for actual for sentencing from the actual judge. And according to court records, he he was he was well respected, young, ambitious, and that's unfortunately, he's actually one of the guys who jumped on this real quick because since 2016, he started actually extorting this actual grow warehouse. But I mean, if they went on for 4 years, maybe the actual owner finally they caught up to him on his illegal activities, and he let him know how he was able to conduct this actual business for almost 4 years. And then on another note, too, there is a Homeland Security inspector, which apparently had a lot of actual pull. He was out of the LA area, and he was actually assigned to counter uh, the regular, money laundering, uh, drug smuggling, any kind of illegal activity from organizations. He actually uh, had an overview, and he was actually the special agent. So he had more actual privileges. And but he just got charged this March with a 28 count indictment. But let's rewind back all the way to 2016. He was actually charged with um, allowing uh, a felon that was actually deported from the U.S. for his criminal activities, and he actually allowed him to come back in. I believe it was through a parole system, and he allowed him to come back in for the fact that he had an associate with some sort of organization, criminal organization, and that actually follows with the actual uniform of actually when you're being background check. This is after you've already been sworn in and you've actually been in the department with the agency for a few years. They will run additional backgrounds just to update everybody's file. And he did say that he did not associate or did not know any kind of crime organization, uh, and that is lying to a federal officer. So he also had that charge, and that was back in 2016. So now, as this is being conducted, it's he did 12 months for that actual crime. He was not no longer a employee from the Homeland Security. He was terminated. Uh, did 12 months and 1 day. He did his time, did a supervised release, about 3 years maybe. But as of March 2021, he was rearrested and got 28 count indictment. Um, he was actually they were actually investigating an 18 months actual corruption scheme that included cash payments, check. Uh, he actually he was offered and took private jet travels, uh, was compensated with luxury hotel stays, meals from one particular, this is a different case, one particular member of an organization that actually is still in business and actually conducts smuggling, money laundering, and drug trafficking. So, as he is actually on this actual cartel's payroll, he accesses the Department of Homeland Security database for information on a foreign national and actually informed his one contact with that crime organization that he removed a text hit on that actual foreign national. Remember what a tech hit is. A tech hit is a file assigned to you and it alerts the agent running your identification at the border. So if you have a tech hit, as soon as your information is in the system, it will automatically come up as a big red flag. Agents from that are assigned to be roving, they will actual um, be pursuing whatever lane or whatever pedestrian walkway that they're actually that lane actual hits. They converge on this actual lane and take the actual individual into custody. This guy had a bad record, you know what I mean? And he indicated that he took the derogatory info that had been placed by the government on this actual foreign national. So he took away the actual tech hit from this individual, you know. And he got arrested. He's in jail right now, but he still has not been. Um, his trial has not been set yet. But what I can tell you is that he was part of a corruption scheme that has a lot of actual big players, big organizations, and I'm not going to talk about it. It's too much information to take in, and you actually have to have a visual of what's going on. If it's not on the Netflix movie yet, it should be, because there's a lot of information and there's a lot of conspiracies and there's a lot of facts, and it includes the Armenian actual mafia and the prison actual mafia in California. It includes um, corrupt detectives. Um, it includes a $21 billion scheme from the U.S. government. You heard me right. $51 billion scheme from the U.S. government, from the IRS. So when I tell you these are some big hitters, it's too much detail to go into for actual for these type of videos, and you actually have to have a visual of the actual players, and you can't do it without actually naming specific organizations and specific people. It'd be too confusing. But it's a good read. Just look it up. You know, um, on the internet, and if you just Google LA detectives with the connections with the actual organizations I mentioned earlier, you should come up with some good reads. And they're long reads, they're interesting reads, and you actually have to focus on the actual players that are actually being talked about. Okay, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.